Good afternoon. My name is Chad Davidson, and I am the Instructional Supervisor for Fine Arts at Glenbrook North High School. I have a few words that I'd like to share with you before we begin round two, act two of today's wonderful concert. But before I do that, I would like to say to the orchestra, wow. This and you are amazing. And also, this is not usual. This is rare to have an orchestra of this caliber in a public high school. There is nowhere else in the country where you can find musicians such as yourselves that are assembled on the same stage performing at this high caliber. So thank you, thank you. After hearing them play, it would be realistic to assume that the reason that they are as capable as they are is because they do nothing other than practice all day long. That is not the case. Our students are involved in many, many other endeavors within our schools and within our communities. Musically, many of the orchestra members are also part of the choirs and bands and theater departments at both Glenbrook North and Glenbrook South High School. They're also involved in musical ensembles outside of the school, and they share their talents with the community. They're academically motivated, and they pursue courses of interest that are at the highest level while also challenging themselves with additional activities such as Science Olympiad, debate, DECA, yearbook, math team, and speech. Additionally, many are student athletes. On this stage are swimmers, football players, runners, golfers, and many, many more. They give their time and talent as community members with organizations such as local government, youth commissions, Key Club, and other service organizations. And somehow, they manage to make time for friendships, social activities, and family time. Music participation in high school is a wonderful setting for building relationships and finding a home during high school. We would like now to begin our second half of the concert with the overture to Candide. American composer Leonard Bernstein was equally comfortable performing as a pianist, as a conductor, or as a composer, and he served as the conductor of the New York Philharmonic from 1958 to 1969. At that point, he retired to dedicate more time to composition. He is famous for blurring the lines between classical and popular music, such as is demonstrated with his operetta Candide. Candide opened on Broadway in 1956 and was an enormous critical and financial flop. It bombed and only performed 73 performances at that time. Bernstein continued to work and revise Candide throughout the course of his life, and I am happy to report that this piece now is part of the standard repertoire and is a staple for both Broadway and opera companies. Please enjoy the overture to Candide.
Hello, I'm Robbie Scheller, GBS Choir Director and GSO alum, class of 2009.
And my name is Brian Boron, GBS Band Director and GSO Percussion Section Coach, and GSO alum, class of 2010.
And most of you know, since Mrs. Meyer excitedly tells every single freshman class each year, I'm also a GSO alum and graduated from GBN in 2007. As proud alums now teaching music in the Glenbrook district, we are very glad to be back home continuing the traditions that have been part of our district for so long.
GSO alums have gone on to do incredible things. As musicians, you can find alums as performers with world-class musical organizations such as the New York Philharmonic, the Chicago Lyric Opera, San Francisco Symphony, the Chicago Symphony, the Seattle Symphony, the Toronto Symphony, the Calgary Philharmonic, and jazz at Lincoln Center. Students have gone on to study at Juilliard, Indiana University, New England Conservatory, Northwestern, and USC, to name just a few. Alums who haven't pursued music as their focus often choose to include music in their lives through participating in college or local music ensembles. And many truly enjoy attending concerts of many musical styles as invested audience members.
Beyond music, our fellow alums have gone on to make their mark in their chosen fields and to take with them the lessons and experiences gained through their time in the GSO. One of the highlights of today's event has been reconnecting with so many alums and sharing memories together.
Current GSO students, alums, and families form a very special community, and we hope that you'll join us for a reception after the concert in the cafeteria to reminisce and catch up. We'll have cookies, punch, anniversary cake, and music by the GSO Alumni Jazz Trio featuring Jack Sundstrom, Neil Carson, and Spencer Peterson. We continue our concert now with Thunder and Lightning. Johann Strauss Jr. was an Austrian composer also known as the Waltz King. He composed over 500 waltzes, polkas, and operettas, and other types of dance music, including the well-known Blue Danube.
His famous work, Thunder and Lightning, was first performed by the GSO in 1993 and then again in 1996. In 2008, the GSO became the first youth orchestra chosen to be recorded in concert and broadcast by Chicago's classical radio station WFMT for their program introductions. This honor extended further when the GSO's performance of Thunder and Lightning from that broadcast was chosen for WFMT's Best of Introduction CD 5 years later.
As the percussion coach of the GSO, I just have to point out that Strauss makes great use of the percussion section to make this piece come alive. In order to imitate nature, you'll hear the orchestra depict not only raindrops and fierce winds, but also flashes of lightning and thunderclaps. Perhaps the percussion section will even rumble loud enough to bring the storm inside.
At this time, any GSO alum who are going to be playing on the stage, if you could make your way to the choir room to get your instruments, that would be great.
In order to help us remember this amazing afternoon of music, we have 2 plaques commemorating today's concert, and these will be hung on display in the orchestra rooms both at Glenbrook North and Glenbrook South High School. They are identical except for in color. GBS has blue, GBN has green, and they read Glenbrook Symphony Orchestra 40th Anniversary Concert, November 24, 2019. Kristen Meyer, conductor; Aaron Kaplan, assistant conductor; Carl J. Meyer, GSO founding conductor. And a quote, "Play the music, not the notes." We hear that a lot with our orchestra. And this is presented by the GBS and GBN Fine Arts departments.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moranto and Mr. Davidson, for those lovely and thoughtful plaques, recognizing this special milestone for the GSO. We will proudly hang one in the orchestra room at each school. And it's a visible and meaningful reminder of all the support the GSO has had for over 4 decades in our community. A group like this, with its large, enthusiastic membership, long-standing traditions, and illustrious alumni, would not be possible without the strong support and encouragement from so many people. Now, when reflecting on 40 years of a program, it's really hard to know where to begin in expressing gratitude. But I will start with our kids. This year's group of musicians is extremely talented, fiercely committed, not a single one late today, by the way. And they have been very enthusiastic in sharing in the excitement for this anniversary. It's because of your integrity, we tell you this all the time, your personal integrity, your musical integrity, that we are here celebrating with such outstanding music today, and Mr. Kaplan and I are so proud of you.
We know that all those music lessons, rides to rehearsal, and instruments for our current students, incoming students, and alums wouldn't be possible without the support of parents. And so many parents are and have been involved as volunteers and as a part of our GSO Parents Association. GSO Parent Board Treasurer Karen Stack has been particularly helpful in preparing for today's event, along with our team of over 24 parents who helped with the reception. Everything from uniform distribution, receptions, fundraisers, and banquet organization, parents are integral to the success of our program, and we thank you very much.
We truly are so fortunate to be in a community that values the arts and orchestral music so highly. This not only makes our program possible, but it also helps the arts to flourish and thrive at Glenbrook. For 4 decades, the GSO has had unwavering support from District 225. Former and current administrators and colleagues, we thank you for all the support you have shown to our students and our orchestra program. And in support of today's celebration, we would like to thank administrators Dr. Charles Johns, Dr. Lauren Fagel, Dr. John Finan, Mr. Josh Koo, Dr. Mike Tarjan, Mr. Mark Moranto, and Mr. Chad Davidson. And we truly appreciate all the many ways in which our fine arts colleagues lend assistance to our program and to our students. Band directors Brian Boron, who is also our GSO percussion section coach, if you haven't heard, Aaron Wojcik, Dan Briggs, Alex Baxmeyer, as well as retired GBS band director Greg Wojcik, who is joining us in performing our finale. And also our choir directors, Robbie Scheller, Andrew Toniola, Kelsey Nichols, and Chad Davidson. We know many former colleagues are also joining us here today, and we thank you for your continued support and friendship.
Live streaming today's event, we thank Ms. Julie Banka and her team of students. We also want to thank Mr. Chuck Hawes for recording our GSO concerts for so many years and producing such high-quality CDs for our students and families. Thank you to the GBS and GBN Tri-M students for ushering in all our GSO events and warmly welcoming our audience. Mrs. Renee Travers was our lead assistant in today's event. She helped to welcome alums and co-organize the reception. On a daily basis, we rely on Renee for so much and are grateful for her time and patience. For decades, the GSO students have been outfitted expertly by the dynamic Barb Blom and now also her daughter, Lori. Thank you for making our kids look so sharp in their tuxes and dresses.
Now, working with a professional such as Mr. Rich Winship, our GBS lighting and set designer and technical director, really is a dream come true. Rich collaborated with us on our finale of Pirates today. And without giving anything away, I will say that his work is simply stunning and magical. His wizardry is an expression of how the piece resonates, and he expertly uses attributes of light, such as color, movement, intensity, and direction. The lighting expresses peace and warmth one moment and changes to power and fear the next by using fades, pastels, colors, angles, and patterns. These moments help set a mood for the audience and most certainly also our performers. The first time they saw his light show that he does with Pirates, they couldn't play because they were going cool and ooh. So thank you, Rich, for your collaboration, your imagination, your team of students, your artistry. It has made our shared events so professional and unforgettable for so many years, and it means so much to us. Thank you.
Alums, thank you for the awesome response to our invitation to be here today. It's a busy time of year and you're scattered near and far. We are thrilled by the huge turnout. Thank you for your part in the traditions of our GSO for decades, and thank you for being here today with us. Mr. Carl Meyer, the GSO as we know it is due to your vision, dedication, commitment to excellence, and strong legacy here at the Glenbrooks. Thank you for all you've done and continue to do for us.
And last but not least, to our own families, the Meyers and the Kaplans. Thank you for your love, encouragement, and your applause. Now, hopefully our alums should have had time to get their instruments. Many of them are on stage. So if you'll bear with us for just a few more moments while we increase the size of our GSO even more, we'll get this anniversary orchestra warmed up and ready for our finale. Once again, thank you so much.